Welcome back. Today I'm gonna show you how I fix little defects or even something that you might have caused yourself, like this support removal here. You see there's a little bit of a piece missing there in the helmet. So I'm gonna show a process that I use to fix, because you're definitely not going to want to print this all over again. The product that I use is Milliput, which is basically an epoxy putty, so you should be able to find other brands and stuff like that. If you never use epoxy putty before, it usually comes in two parts. One of them will be a little bit hard, which is usually the hardener, and the other one is the putty itself. You should be able to find the instructions for the brand you're using, but most likely it will be two equal parts that you need to mix. So as you can see here, I try to make some little pieces that are equally sized, and I mix them together. After you mix them, you start kneading them, and you should have a uniform texture like this, and you realize it becomes quite soft and easy to shape in any form that you would like to. I also use these stainless steel tool set for carving. I'll leave the link in the descriptions, and the reason why I like these is because they have so many different heads that are really useful if you want to get something. So I'll pick this one that is like a spare in one point and like a flat blade in the other. Milliput is really nice to model with water, so I have just a little bit here. I just wet my fingers and apply that to the area of the defect. With the water, you will notice it's very easy to smooth that out, like I'm doing here. So in a big area like this, your fingers should be enough. And obviously you need to try and follow the shape. So here it's a very easy area. It's not very deep. It's very in the corner of the cape. It's going to be hidden, but nevertheless you would like to try and shape it according to your model. You can use the tool, obviously, if you want to make a crease like this and make it blend. But the key thing here is you're trying to cover the hole, they're trying to cover the defect. That should be very straightforward in this cape right here. For the helmet is a little bit more complicated because it's really there in the corner of the detail, so my fingers won't be able to reach. So I'm gonna use a little tiny tip, see here, squeeze that into the hole, and then start shaping and blending that so it becomes smooth. And once you prime and paint that should be imperceptible. So I'm trying here, see, I'm trying to follow the detail of the helmet, again tipping my tool in the water. You can use a toothpick, you can use whatever you find that is sharp enough to fill the area. But again, I like these stainless steel tools because they're really nice and versatile. I'm using the flat part of the spare there just to flatten that out, and the tip to shape the little and sharp corner. Take your time. The putty will take hours to fully dry, so you don't need to rush. You can redo it, you can just carve it back and do it again. Once it's dry, after I usually leave that for like a day, it's very smooth to sand, so you just get your usual sanding paper that you prepare your prints and just smooth that out if there's any not flat areas. And obviously once you prime and start painting that, it should be imperceptible. Another very common fix is when you make a mistake painting it. So in this case here, I was dry brushing and I forgot to take the excess off my brush. So you see, the key thing is trying to be as quick as you can. So in this case in particular, it was easy enough. I could wipe it out with my fingers and obviously take the excess paint of it. I could just make an eraser or something like that. But I like to use this little trick here. So usually I just take a toothpick, some cotton wool. You can use also a barbecue stick like I've shown you before, a little bit wider, and all you need to do is to roll the cotton wool into the stick, and it will kind of make a tiny little cotton bud, say here. And that is perfect to keep it close to you, especially to clean out some tight creases. So you just dip that in water or solvent, depending on what paint you're using. Take some excess out. I'll do that with my fingers anyway. There you go. And then you can use that as a bit of a eraser tool. So I didn't quite like how I've blade out a little bit here, the blue into the yellow. So I'm just gonna wipe that out and try to remove. And as you can see, it's right in the crease. So it would be very hard for me to wipe with the bare fingers alone. So simple as that. It took a bit of the blue here, but it also took a bit of the yellow there. But that's all right. I just need to touch that again. I'm gonna wipe this a little bit here as well. You can see you completely wiped it out because the paint didn't dry enough. So you need to be quick. That works better if you're quick, but I've also done that a day later or so. Here, obviously, you just need to reapply the paint. Try to be careful this time not to make the mistake. It's also very common when you're painting eyes and stuff like that because they're usually so tiny. A little bit of a shake in your hand just makes it looks cross-eyed and stuff like that. So don't be afraid to redo your stuff when you're painting. So here I'm just applying the blue again over the edges. It's a very, very thin brush. Taking my time. That's better. And then obviously I need to retouch the yellow bit that I've erased as well. There you go, simple as that. So the yellow shouldn't bleed through the blue. And that's it. That's some of the tricks that I use to fix some mistakes or some issues during the print and paint process. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.